Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee with Craig, where we talk about all things firearm policy, politics, culture, media, you name it. We're talking about it right here on Coffee with Craig. So please take a moment, like and share the program. Folks, we need you to do that. We need you to help us beat the algorithms. We all know that whether it's in the Twitter space or whether it's in the Googles or the Facebooks of the world, they do not want us talking about our fundamental right to keep and bear arms. So they are going to throttle this show, the information going out about it. So the best way to do it is, number one, like it and hit the notification button. That way you get notified as soon as we go live and you can participate in the live chat. Also, by sharing it, the people who believe the same thing that you believe get an opportunity to see it, and they're obviously going to want to join in the conversation as well. So take a moment and please do that. Let's get right into today's topic. And it's all about another FPC victory. And in what better place that could it possibly be than in the state of California, which, by the way, happens to be the state in which I reside. So this is actually a fun one. So here in California, we have this thing called the UC Davis. It's called the Gun Violence Research Center. It's at UC Davis, California State University at Davis. University of California at Davis. The highfalutin muckety mucks. In any case, they're anti-gunners. It's a place run by an anti-gun activist named Garen Wintemute, who basically, his whole goal in life, it appears to be to restrict our fundamental right to keep and bear arms. Well, there was a bill that was passed that actually would allow them to get access to data on gun owners in the state of California in order to assist in their anti-gun research. Well, the Firearms Policy Coalition, we were successful in getting a judge to issue an injunction against California gun owner data sharing. To talk a little bit more about this victory is the Director of Legal Operations over at the Firearms Policy Coalition, Mr. Bill Sackville. Bill, how are we doing today?
Hello, Craig. We are well, thank you.
Excellent. I'm sure the Phillies are treating you nicely.
As always, go Fightins.
Go Fightins. All right. Tell us a little bit about this case and about the injunction.
Sure. So the case is called Barba v. Bonta, and this was a decision that came out of the San Diego Superior Court. And in this case, we challenged what you were talking about, Craig, which was California Assembly Bill 173, which created the statutory means by which gun owners' personal identifying information and their purchase information was used for non-law enforcement purposes. It was being sent over to this gun violence research center to do God knows what with. And as we all know, California can absolutely be trusted with your personal information as a gun owner, because they will not at all leak it on the internet for everyone to see.
So we got an injunction. What exactly does this mean now in terms of other chances where they might try and share data? I mean, is this a temporary injunction? Is this a full-blown injunction?
Right. So what we've got now is we've got a preliminary injunction, and what the court said was essentially that the state of California can no longer share this information for non-law enforcement purposes. They cannot continue to give this research entity the personal identifying information of firearm owners and firearm purchasers throughout the state. And, as we've discussed in the past, one of the main requirements of receiving a preliminary injunction is what's called likelihood of winning on the merits. So what you have to establish is that even at this early preliminary stage in the proceedings, that you can show that your side is most likely to win, or is likely to win on the merits. And because there's very little additional facts that need to be developed in this case, we're certainly confident that we're going to see a thorough final judgment on the merits in this case in the near future.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't, to at least a certain degree, the fact that whether it's the University of California or the California state government in general has not exactly been real good with people's data, in particular gun owners' data. Did that play a role at all in the case?
Well, technically, it did not. Right. So the real issue here is, can the state give away the information that it collects because you've chosen to exercise your fundamental rights while residing in that state? Can it give your information away for non-law enforcement purposes? In this case, because they had some vague assertion of doing like academic research to try to uh, do God knows what with, frankly. But the reality is that the violation of the privacy rights of all of these individuals, by the nature of the collection and the sharing of this data, has a chilling effect. And in particular, when it comes to Second Amendment rights, which does, really find itself originally one of the founding principles underlying the Second Amendment is the ability to arm the population as a balance against tyranny. Giving the information about everybody who owns what, when, and where to the tyrants is kind of antithetical to the undertaking. And I think what you're alluding to, Craig, is the fact that the California DOJ accidentally published the full personal records of everybody that's ever received a concealed carry permit in the state of California. I mean, that only goes to kind of underlie this assertion that even if they were acting in their capacity, or acting in good faith, rather, I should say, and trying to protect gun owners' information for these academic purposes, which is a dubious claim at best. Even still, the government has shown that they're just completely negligent in keeping your personal information. And that if they're not going to give it away for free online, like they did just a few months back in June of this year, that they're most likely going to be negligently entrusted with it, and that they're going to make it easy for hackers to steal it. And generally, it becomes problematic for any individual who resides in California, who has simply just tried to exercise their fundamental rights.
Well, just one, well, I think it was one point of correction. It actually included not just people who received a concealed carry permit, but anyone who applied for a concealed carry permit. So if you even applied in a place and, maybe the anti-gunners decided, the place where they weren't going to issue them anyway, your name could now wind up on a list. And, as much I really in my heart want to believe that the release of information and data was an accident. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't.
I mean, look, here's the thing, is that either way, right? Like, it was either incompetence, negligence, or just total bad faith, right? None
Right.
of none of the three of those options are good ones, right?
No.
Like, even if it was perfectly well-meaning incompetence, well, that's still a big problem.
Well, in the state of California, when it comes to databases and electronic information or registration databases, it's amazing that for the home of the Silicon Valley, we can't seem to get computer stuff right.
Government is not particularly good at doing stuff, especially technological stuff.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? All right. So now, where exactly is this case, and what are the kind of the next steps?
So we do have a preliminary injunction in place at this point. The case is going to continue to move forward on the merits. At this point, the injunction is relatively newly passed, just a few days ago. So we are waiting to see the exact timeline on how the court wants to proceed. But as it stands, the injunction is in place, and the state is no longer able to share the personal identifying information of gun owners all across the state.
Folks, the reason why this stuff is really important, even if you're not a Californian, this is really important because, just about every bad gun idea that has ever been thought of has started off in California. And the great thing is that means that through the work of the Firearms Policy Coalition, we're already a step up. We're already in the process of fighting a lot of these bad laws, along with our partners who are also filing cases or partnering with us in these cases. So, as much as you guys want to talk bad about California, at least I can say we're at least exposing the monsters that we get a chance to fight.
The incubator of bad ideas. That's California.
There you go. We're squeezing all those bad ideas out so that they can be killed.
At least we know where to look for them. We can start in New Jersey, New York, and California, and as long as we nip them in the bud there, they don't go national.
Well, exactly. Which is all the more reason why y'all always need to be keeping an eye on California. You need to be keeping an eye on New York. New Jersey just doesn't seem to be even remotely smart about it, though.
No. Well, I mean, New Jersey, just like the other two, they're all subject to, like one-party domination. There is no real legitimate second-party option that has any power. And so what you get is you get a room full of people that all agree with each other all the time, and no idea is bad enough. So they continue to try to one-up one another, and we are seeing that happening right now in New Jersey with additional sensitive places and all sorts of other concealed carry restrictions that looks like that legislature is really interested in pushing through. And boy, are we watching. We would love for them to do it. Give me some more work to do.
And the other thing is I really don't think they care that it's legal, whether it's legal or not. Their whole goal is they want to pass it to say that they passed it, to say that they did it, and then those evil Second Amendment people, the gun industry, the gun lobby, yeah, they were able to cajole the courts and pack the courts in order to get things their way. When the reality is, they're the ones that are trying to subvert the rights of Americans, of not just Americans, but of people here in these United States. And it's groups like the Firearms Policy Coalition that are standing up and fighting against them.
That's right. We're happy to keep everybody honest the best we can.
There you go. Tell us how we can follow the work of the Firearms Policy Coalition.
You bet. So firearmspolicy.org is our main landing page. From there, you can see all of the work that we're involved in all over the country. You can buy FPC t-shirts and hoodies. You can take action on our Take Action page, which tracks new legislation that is working through various state houses and senates. If you go over to the Legal Action tab, or you go to fpclegal.org, that takes you directly to the legal site, where you can see all of the active litigation that we are currently involved in. Right now, it's over 50 active cases, and we've got about 30 more that we're currently building out. You can search all of those by case name, by jurisdiction, and as well by geographic location, so you can see what sort of cases we're involved in your neck of the woods.
Excellent. So thank you so very much once again for all of the work that you and the folks over there at FPC Law are doing. Please say hello to everyone over there for us, for the folks over here at Coffee with Craig.
You bet. Will do.
All righty. All right, folks. Well, you've heard about the work that's going on. It's no small deal. But here's the deal. It requires support, right? I always say this: there's no us without you. What does that mean? It means that we need you to become a member of the Firearms Policy Coalition. Please take a moment and become a member today. It's real simple. Just go to joinfpc.org. That's joinfpc.org and become a member. It's really kind of simple. Now, if you're already a member, or if maybe you don't want to be a member, but you still want to support us, why don't you just go to fpcgear.com. That's fpcgear.com, where you can get all sorts of cool Pro 2A swag. You can get t-shirts. You can find tank tops if you're still looking for them, but we also have hoodies. We have all sorts of fun stuff for you. All you got to do is go there. And the best part about FPC Gear is that every dollar that you spend goes right back into the fight for our right to keep and bear arms. So you can support the Second Amendment and you can look good doing it. That's fpcgear.com. All right, folks, well, that's going to be it for today's episode. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. We will be back sometime soon to talk about more cool stuff that's going on in the 2A community. But until then, remember, this is a fight for our civil rights. We got to use them or we're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.